Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of my NCAA series where we take a look at different intros over the last 25 years, starting off with NCAA 07, going all the way up to college football 25. So today we're looking at the Alabama Crimson Tide for today's series. Now, so far, if you are new, we did LSU. We did South Carolina Gamecocks. We have done Duke. We've done Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan. I think I just said the same one twice. And Ohio State. Or Oregon Ducks. My bad. So those are the ones we have done so far. And now, of course, we are continuing down the line here with our beautiful Alabama University, who I feel like produces the most NFL talents. Now, normally during these videos, we like to go ahead and talk about some players who, are in the NFL from Alabama. But if we're being honest, that list would go on and on and on. This video would be 2 hours long. There's a lot of players who are very successful in the NFL. Some notable names, obviously, Jerry Jeudy, Patrick Surtain II. You got Marlon Humphreys. You got Derrick Henry. So it's insane. As always, the intros really don't get going until NCAA 11. 7, 8, 9, 10, kind of mid, to be honest, when it comes to intros. I know they're very limited when it comes to NCAA series because they didn't have the NIL deal, so they couldn't just go crazy when it comes to adding stuff, like, adding players' likeness and their faces, and they can't do all that. So, early NCAA games, very limited, and that's why you see for the first couple games here, not really much. It's also why I didn't include any NCAA before 07. Because before 07, it's pretty much a nothing burger, if you want to be honest, when it comes to NCAA intros. Now, of course, the intros gets really, really good after 11, so that's really why. Although 10 is not bad. I do love it when the marching band does this on the field. I think it's awesome. I just know if I was ever out there trying to do this, I would probably end up flopping and messing up. I know they train this and they make sure it's perfect. It is amazing when you look at it from a top-down angle. It's actually freaking amazing. But of course, it says impact player number 8 there, who's a sophomore. So that means they probably got drafted in 2014 and 2015. Not sure who the wide receiver is though. But most players from Alabama does make it to the NFL. Most of them do make it to the NFL. And most of them have decent careers in the NFL. Unless you're a cornerback, there's been a couple corners who've been very successful in the NFL. But now we got NCAA 11. Now, if you watched the series before, you know that the textures in the past were messed up in NCAA 11. Simply not the case anymore. I did end up fixing NCAA 11. So now the textures are all correct. They're perfect. And it looks so much better with the textures actually being correct. I don't know why NCAA 11 was the one game that would break out of all NCAAs, but it is. And it's also one of my favorites. So, kind of sucks for that reason. But, taking a look at this, see, now we actually have the fans get involved. We have the players walking out of the tunnel. You have, better camera angles. You got mascots involved. This is, again, everything is better once you hit NCAA 11. NCAA 11 was such an underrated game. And when you look at this intro, you can see how underrated it was. Because the other ones were yeah, it's NCAA, plain, whatever. Then NCAA 11 comes out, and it just completely shocks everything. Changes everything for the better when it comes to NCAA series. But we got the top-down angle here that shows the football. It shows, ESPN there. Players warming up, stuff like that. It really does cover every single feat if you think about it. And you got the Reese's Puffs. The Reese's, actually not the Puffs, just the Reese's advertisement. But safety, okay, so Reese's perfect. I'm trying to think who these players are as we go throughout these videos. Because again, not being able to see any likeness or any name really sucks. It's why college football, I think that's why a lot of people love college football 25. is because when you play, you don't have to worry about just seeing the numbers. You actually see the players' names, their faces, they have face scans, and all that kind of good stuff. But now we got NCAA 12, which looks freaking amazing. Got the Spartans versus the Alabama Crimson Tide. And also, guys, this is a request-only series, so if you guys want to see me do another team or another college, tell me down below. Outside of the ones, obviously, I've already listed, tell me down below, and I will go ahead and do so. So it says, this is our house. That's another thing I want to see back with College Football 26. I would love to see them bring back custom signs. Because if you could make some crazy custom signs, like going into online games, obviously nothing profane, nothing like, you know, no slurs or anything like that. But like, just like, you know, a little bit of trash talk. That would be amazing. I think the reason why they don't do it, though, is because they know the community will do something and make it probably racist, in all honesty. That's just kind of how it is when it comes to stuff like that. You let people create custom signs, they're going to do that. Or they're going to put a dick on it. And that's pretty much that. Quarterback number 8. Dang, bro. This is something that I need to learn more about or watch more as college football. Because I am such a newbie when it comes to college football. Alright. Quarterback number 10 for Clemson. Low key. So what is this? This is 13. So 2013. Clemson number 8. Who is their number 8 quarterback? Let me see. Who is this guy? Darius Robinson. Maybe that's not a quarterback. Wait, no, it did say quarterback. But Darius Robinson was number 8 at one point. Unless he is a quarterback. He might actually be a quarterback. I don't know. Half these guys don't make it to the NFL, so. We looked at it the other day with the Gamecocks. Like, I think in the end, maybe like 2 or 3 guys made the NFL off the whole roster. So, With that being said, though, we are about to get into arguably the worst college football NCAA game when it comes to intro sequences. And that, of course, is going to be NCAA 14. NCAA 14 is kind of mid. Just because they decided to go in a different direction. And they went with less of an actual thing like this, like an intro sequence. And they tried to make it into a movie. And nobody likes the movies. Well, they don't like movie intros. We like it to be like, you know, just typical intro. Alright, so that guy's name is Darius Robinson. He's a defensive back in 2013. He's a senior, so that means he was on the roster since like 2009. So, I thought it said quarterback, but I don't know if that's incorrect. But according to ClemsonTigers.com, that's what I'm going off of there. Elephant. You know, I'll be honest with you, I did not know that their mascot was an elephant going into this video. I guess I should have known that, but I did not realize that was their mascot going into this. You know what I need to play? I need to go back and play the old mascot matchup games. Those games were low-key fun. The mascots where they would all, like, have the mascots play a football game. That's the type of stuff I want to see in Madden one day, is them to bring stuff like that back. But now we got College Football 25, and this is the latest and the greatest. This is the absolute monster of a video game. And you got to give credit where credit is due. This is actually freaking dope. I do love College Football 25. 26 is great. I can't wait for 26. I wish it was on PC, but it is what it is. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one.